Hey, just a few more things I want to introduce and talk to you guys about, and then we're going to take some questions here. One of the things is hosts are now content. Well, that's kind of just an underneath, under the covers kind of thing, but here's what that means for you. What that means is you can right-click a host, you can edit the host, and you kind of go to the edit content screen. This looks very similar to that, and so again, this screen's still getting some cosmetic changes to it, but you can edit here the host name, the aliases. What this also means is, for those that are wondering, you can actually go to the structure manager, and there actually is a host structure, and you can add new fields just like you can to any piece of content. You can now add new fields to that host, and you can edit that. Those fields can be pulled directly within your velocity code and your container and your template, within widgets, within content. You can pull the values of those fields, what it is, so you can actually store specific things for a host, pull that stuff on your page based on whatever host you're on, display this content differently, for example. Or maybe you need to get some value from the host because the content displays, and when it displays in this host, it needs to get whatever's on the host and display it. We have another way of doing that, in that we now also have host variables. So you can come in here and you can add a new host variable. You give it a name, you give it a key, you give it a value. Again, this is going to be now a velocity variable that is exposed to you within within any page or piece of content or whatever, container, template, underneath of a host. You have host variables. So your template, which could be used maybe on different hosts, now or your container as well, which could be used in different hosts, your content, you now can pull these host variables if you would. It's very similar to the fact that the host is now content. You probably can accomplish some similar things both ways, but it gives you different ways of doing it. In addition to that, you could see here, I clicked on CMS admin, I went to host. We actually have a host manager. And so this is kind of cool. One of the things that we've really attempted to do is ease the management of sites that would attempt to use dotCMS to host tens, hundreds, or even thousands of websites within the same instance of dotCMS. And what we provide now is the ability to, you could stop a host, for example. Think of this as activating a host versus deactivating. It's not deleting. It's kind of deactivate the host. But you could then later reactivate the host. So we've added that. In addition to that, you can add a host. Well, you can start with a blank host. Not a whole lot of rocket science to there. It's what you'd expect. You come, you add a new host. If you had other things in your host structure, it would all display here. And that's it. And you get a new host. In addition to that, this is what's cool. You can copy an existing host. So you click Next. And what that brings you to here is, who do you want to copy? Well, I want to copy the starter site. And what do you want to copy? Well, I want to copy everything. Or no, I only want to copy the templates and containers on this host. Or I only want to copy the folders on this host, the files, the pages. So you can get real granular here with the copy. At this point, you click Next, and this is going to bring you to, again, the same screen. You enter in your stuff, you hit Save and Activate, and you now get a host that is a copy of the host where you came from. This allows you to build a template host and blow through many hosts. It allows you to take a guy, copy him, work on that guy, and then later, make that guy live. Lots and lots of options and cool functionality of what could be happening here. As far as the multi-host, very, very big. Another under-the-covers change that we've made is UUID. And what I mean by that, many of you guys know about this change in the community. Some of you don't. Let me explain what that means. Most of you guys that have worked in dotCMS, you've seen things like go to, news ID, whatever, slash blog, question mark, and then news inode equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Or most people, you're familiar with their concept of inode in the dotCMS, at least to the point that they're IDs that we've used. The problem with the inode numbers is they need to be unique numbers, and they're unique. They're always unique to your local system. But what they aren't is globally unique, and that's what a UUID is. A UUID is a globally unique ID. Well, what does this mean for you? What we're trying to solve is the ability to import, export, and sync multiple servers that may not even be in the same location. This is what's going to provide you the ability to actually export, say, a structure and its content and bring that into any .cms system or a specific piece of content or a specific template. Right now, you can export the whole site. Certainly, we have the export of content and import, but not in the same way that we're talking here. This is an actual export or import of any object in .cms that'll function the same way, because the UUIDs, or the IDs of these objects, are now globally unique. The UUID has the idea that it is unique in the universe, if you would. It's constructed in such a way that it is a universal, unique number. So what that means for you is the ability to, even for those that are wondering, even from direct SQL, you can pull things out of one system and put them in another system. Now, what we're lacking in 1.9, and you'll see come in 2.0 and forward from 2.0, is potentially and a little bit more tooling built around this. So you'll start to see, where you can then right-click and export a guy, and it'll dump the guy down and import it. But it would be possible in 1.9, very possible, to write tooling, a plugin, or even from the command line, if you needed to just query SQL directly. It's very possible to now move data between instances of .cms, even if they're not in the same location. I mean, you could essentially bring the data down, bring it into another server, and again, what we're solving here is the enterprise need of being able to import, export, keep servers in sync. If you would, imagine a larger site that needs a server in the East, a server in Europe, a server here in North America, and it does geolocal DNS kind of stuff. So imagine that we're hitting, based on where you are, you hit your server, one server gets updated, eventually it has to sync all the content to the other guys, multiple servers running the same stuff across different parts of the country. That's where we're different parts of the world, and that's where we're moving to. That's the idea. We've started that. We're very far down that line with the UUID change.